Mastering the art of detachment. This is what I'll be talking to you about. My name is Jacinta Wangeshi, and I am a toxic relationship coach. If this is your first time here, karibu sana. This is where we talk about all things relationships, based not only on all the research that I have done, but also on my own life experiences. So, welcome, subscribe, like this video, and share it so that it can reach many other women who need to hear this. Karibu sana. Get right into it. It can be so hard to feel like you need to let go of someone because you have this connection to them. You do not understand it. You're thinking in yourself, maybe I just love this person too much, but you know deep in your heart that this person is not good for you. So how will you decide? Whether it's during dating, where I have had so many women ask me, Jacinta, I'm in this situationship or situation where I dated a guy for one time or two times, but now I feel like I'm in love with them. Or I have this friend that I've had for very many years, but they keep hurting me, they keep overstepping my boundaries, and I feel like they're using me, but how do I let them go? This is what the art of detachment is all about. And I'll be taking you through it today with 5 major points, things that you need to consider or you need to put in perspective or you just need to put in place for you to be able to detach. Yeah? So welcome. The first one that I have talked about probably a lot. I've done a masterclass on it, I have done posts on it, and I think I've also even done a video here on it. It's about knowing when to do the walking or knowing when to exit. So, knowing when to exit means that you can be able to distinguish or to tell that this relationship is no longer working for me. It does not have to be just an intimate relationship, it can be a platonic relationship. You have your friend here, but somehow you feel like they're abusing your trust. They are abusing you financially. They keep taking money from you, but they're not giving it. It comes down. I always say when I was doing that topic, and if you have not listened to it, please go back to some previous videos. I know you will hear about it, or DM me so I can send you to the post where it is. But it all comes down to how does this person make you feel? Do they make you feel belittled? Do they criticize you? Do they humiliate you? That is the call for you to feel like you now need to exit this sort of relationship, whatever it is. Do these people make you feel like you are frustrated? Do they frustrate you? Do they make you feel very like you spend time with someone and then at the end of it you feel worse about yourself than you ever did? Then this might be a sign for you to leave. And it is only through you being able to see this or to know this or to have this sort of information that you can actually detach from this person, because you'll be like, oh, if this is how you're treating me, or if this is how you're making me feel, then you will see the need automatically. You will see the need to want to move out. If this person abusing you, if it's a relationship, are they being toxic towards you, it's time for you to leave. So being able to actually see and pinpoint that this is the time for you to make the move is one of the ways that you can actually detach. Because believe you me, crazy as it sounds, there's so many people who are there in relationships, getting abused, going through all these things, but they're still staying. They have not recognized that it's time for them to move out. Yeah. The next point is that you need to lay boundaries. Boundaries. I know I talk about boundaries a lot. At this particular time, it's like boundaries have actually become my second name. Why? Because Boundaries are the fundamentals of any sort of relationships. I always say they protect not just you, but they protect even other people from you overstepping the boundaries and from them overstepping your boundaries. It is you knowing where you start and end and where this other person starts and ends. It's you being able to recognize that I can cope with this or I can deal with this, but this I cannot. If someone is putting you in a situation where you cannot handle, then you already have the boundary, so you already know that no, this is not working for me. I cannot do this. And what do? You detach. You detach. An example is I know have been DM'd by a couple of women telling me that they're in a relationship with a married man. They just found out, but then they like this person so much, and this man is telling them that he wants to marry them as a second wife. Now, if being a second wife is not for you, what business do you have tolerating it? It means that it is time for you to make the move, yeah? Or there are many other aspects, but placing boundaries is a point that you need, or it is a factor that you will need to implement for you to be able to walk out or to detach, to detach, yeah? The third point is, can you be able to put yourself first? I will let that sink in. Putting yourself first. And if you do not even get any other thing from this video, just get that. Putting yourself first is fundamental, not just to stop any sort of abuse, but it is also very important for you to be able to detach. Because like I've said previously, someone is telling you that you have just been dating for a month and they're telling you, oh, you need to move in, or let's have a baby. I would love to have a baby with you. But is that what you want? If that is not what you want, what business do you have keeping them around or staying around them? Yeah. So put yourself first. What works for you? Who or what would you want in your life to happen? How do you see yourself, or how do you see your life? Because if you have no idea what you want, you cannot put yourself first, and anybody else will come with all these crazy ideas of how they feel like you should lead your life. So know what you want so that you can be able to put yourself first, and that is going to enable you to actually detach automatically. When you are in a date and you're there, someone is saying something about how they live their lives and it's not working for you, you know you would never be caught dead being in such a relationship. You detach. You know that this does not serve me, it's not going anywhere. You will not try to romanticize the idea that maybe I can change this person. No, you will not. You will automatically know that it is not or never even working for me. Yeah. The other thing that is very close to that is actually letting go of the control. Yes, I know this is huge and very crazy because I personally had to struggle with it because I love control. I think most of us do because control keeps us safe. But did you know that letting go of control is actually detaching? Why? You just met this guy and you're thinking, oh, I want him to dress like this. I want him to look like this. Or you're thinking to yourself, if I leave him, he will never be able to make the right decisions, or the business will crumble, or I don't know what. That is a subtle way of manipulation, and as much as it's harmful to the other person, it's also very hurtful towards yourself. Not only do you get frustrated, you will end up becoming very bitter. So why not let go of this control? Why not just decide, you know what? I cannot save the entire world. I will not sit in this situationship, or I will not put myself in this situation because I feel like this person needs me to survive, or because they need me to be better. Remember, you meet these people as all that, and this is cuts across even your relatives, your siblings. You're there with a sister who you know very well you need to detach because they are always clinging on you. They come to you for money. They are basically living in your house. They are looking out to you for every single thing, from the food to the clothes to you even boosting their businesses. You need to stop and tell yourself, you know what? You have your own life, and the only control you have is over your own life and no one else. So cutting control or releasing control will actually help you to detach. You will let this person be themselves without that interrupting or interfering with you, who you are as a person, and that will just free you in a way. Emotionally, it frees you. And I know, especially coming from the African society, detachment is not very easy because somehow we have been so enmeshed where, especially with our family members, with our siblings, with our parents, but this also makes us feel like we are burdened to help people, we are burdened to care for people, we are burdened to drag people because they do not want to move. Well, release the control, because as much as you're doing stuff for them, when you're advising them, when you're telling them you need to leave your wife, you need to stop doing this, you need to put the business like this, it might feel good for your ego, but basically what it's doing, it's setting you up for the frustrations and bitterness if these people do not live the way you want them to live. Yeah. And it is also giving you some expectations. And if these people do not meet those expectations, what does that do? It makes you frustrated as well. So release or let go of the control. Finally, on to our last point. And I know this is going to be the hardest, but sometimes it is necessary. It is necessary for our emotional well-being and very necessary even sometimes for our physical well-being. What is this point? Moving on. What do I mean by moving on? Moving on doesn't necessarily mean walking out or just exiting, though sometimes it is very necessary, especially in the circumstances that you're in a toxic relationship. At other times, it will mean distancing yourself. Was this your best friend? Was this a family, a very close family member? Distance yourself. By distancing yourself from them, you actually make it easier for you to detach, or you're actually detaching from them. Probably you are so used to being in this situation where you're setting yourself up for this person to actually overstep your boundaries or even abuse you. Yeah. If it is your friend, you are used to hanging out with them a lot, and in that case, they will tell you about their problems, and you would feel obligated to help them, which in turn would turn out to be them actually hurting you or abusing your trust, or financially taking your money away from you and never paying it back. Yeah. So by you distancing yourself from them, you're actually preventing these situations, and you're actually creating room to find better friends, people who are going to respect you and your money, your efforts, your energy, and all that. So, in the event that you cannot cut out these people entirely, and I'll say that some situations do not actually call for you to cut off any sort of communication or whatever it is, just cut them off entirely. Yeah, like in the situations of abuse, there are things that you really cannot negotiate. Yeah, it comes down to what you really want, and when you put yourself first and on every other thing that you've spoken about previously. So if you do decide to move on, it can also mean distancing yourself from them and looking for better, having better friends, having a better partner, having better people in your life who will add to you and not take away from you. Now, attaching or detaching is actually easier said than done. I do know that for a fact. Detaching is really, really hard, especially because you might have known these people for years and years and years, and sometimes you feel obligated to love them for the rest of our lives. But just like setting boundaries, you have every single right to detach from people, or just like boundaries. In boundaries, we say that the boundaries are things that you have to keep coming to, revising them, looking and reevaluating them. This person was very close to me last year. They were among some of my best friends. Are they still my best friend? If not, is it okay for me to put them in the acquaintances class? Yes, it is. So just like boundaries, even in detachment, you have every right to keep revisiting this, checking and just seeing the people around you and be able to weigh, who do I really need to detach from? Yeah, because if you do not, then all these people, or if you ever get to that point where you feel you need to detach from someone, and especially from a stranger, and especially when it comes to relationships, when you're dating, it is very important for you to master this art, because that will enable you to step back and be able to see someone for who they really are, and not through a pink rose glass. You'll be able to see their red flags, you'll be able to see their faults, their weaknesses. Not to say that you're looking for perfection, but you'll not be overlooking the red flags. Yeah. So I hope this helps. And if it has helped you, please leave me a thumbs up. Also, let me know which are other things that we need to consider. Maybe you have used them before, or you've heard about them. So comment down below. It might actually help a friend, or help someone who is going through this video. And also do the honors of sharing this video with somebody else who you feel might benefit from this information. And if you've not subscribed, please subscribe. Subscribe, and connect with me. You can tell me on the DMs, how am I doing? Is there anything that you want me to change, a conversation that you would want me to have right here? Remember, most of these things are things that you actually DM me or ask me about, and I choose to just come and address them here, because here I know I can reach a bigger audience. Yeah. So feel free to DM me, and even comment. Tell me, how is this whole page? How do you like it? How is YouTube? What do you think when you come to this channel? How does it make you feel? How can I make it better? I may have been told to bring Mr. Huffman back again, and I'm hoping he will join us soon. Then let me know which questions would you want him to address. Yeah. So until next time, bye bye.